Memorial Day has come and gone, and it is officially the start of the summer. And if you are like most people, you're thinking you forgot that summer requires your body to be front and center like it does no other time of the year. And for many of you, the body image summer struggles are so very real. And we are going to expose that today. So, welcome back to the Mindset Mirror Connection podcast. Welcome to the Mindset Mirror Connection podcast, the podcast where we have honest conversations about food, body, exercise, and mindset. I'm your host, Christina Hathaway, licensed associate marriage and family therapist with specialized training in food and body obsession, certified personal trainer and nutrition coach. And we have candid conversations about how your mind, your body, and your identity are one integrated system and teach you how to treat it accordingly. So if you're a high-performing individual who loves educational, thoughtful, and no bullshit conversations around health and wellness, you're in the right place. Here we believe what you say in your mind, you see in the mirror. So let's have a conversation about that. Before we get into today's amazing episode, I want to make sure you've hit that follow button wherever you're listening to the Mindset Mirror Connection podcast. Also, if you like to listen to this pod on the go, make sure you have those downloads turned on. As always, I love a 5-star rating and review, and I want to thank you for your continued support. Now, let's get into the episode. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Mindset Mirror Connection podcast. I am so excited you took this time out for yourself to learn something about your physical and mental health. And did you know that 94% of you are not following or subscribed to my podcast? And I cannot tell you how much that helps me, because when you subscribe and follow rather than just listen, it actually tells the podcast gods that this is a podcast worth spreading to others. So if you could just open up Apple, Spotify, or YouTube and click that subscribe button on YouTube or follow button on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, it would mean so much to me. All right. So as I mentioned in the intro, here we are, right? It's the first real weekend of summer, I feel like, because the graduation parties are through, the end of year parties are through, the vacation is booked, and the kids are home from school. And so you're here. We're here in the summer, right? And you remember, like, okay, because you finally have a minute to think about it, because again, you've not only been working and you've been taking care of everything with the school and this and that. Finally, we have a minute to breathe, right? That you got to be in a bathing suit. You got to be in a bathing suit. You don't have to be, but you'd like to be. So you go into, like, if you go into my house, I have these built-ins and I have those big like canvas boxes, and I have a box with my swimsuits in it. So you go and grab the swimsuit box or wherever they're at, the swimsuit drawer, you take them all out and you start trying them on. You start trying them on. And if you're like me, I have swimsuits from like 10 years ago. So, they've fit me in all different kinds of ways. But you try on number one and you're like, ooh, shit. Try on number two. You're like, not this one. Try on number three. And now the tears are starting to develop, right? And you're sitting on the ground and you have your swimsuits all around you. And you're just like, well, shit. Here we are. And what comes up in your brain and the way that you speak to yourself is not kind. It is not kind at all. And we're going to talk today about how these scraps of fabric, whether it's swimsuits, shorts, tanks, board shorts, whatever that is, can take down a fully grown, capable woman or man in 5 minutes. So you know what voice I mean? Come back to sitting in the closet, right? A second that swimsuit doesn't feel right, that voice in your head, that critic gets very loud. It tells you that the lighting is being honest, because if we are being honest, oftentimes I always think about trying on a swimsuit in Target. And I'm like, who fucking puts fluorescent lights in the swimsuit? Not the swimsuit, you know what I mean? The changing room. Like, what? Anyway. The other thing it tells you, though, is that everyone at the party is going to clock exactly how you look. And it's also going to tell you how great they are going to look and remind you that such and such is on Ozempic. And, oh, you saw pictures of this woman the other day, so she obviously looks better than you. And then that critic floats the idea in your head that maybe we should just sit this one out this summer. Maybe we should just cancel the vacay, right? Maybe just stay home, stay in your moo-moo, and stay alone. Right? And it's relentless. The inner critic is a relentless voice. And the more it talks, the more anxiety that you have, and the more that you believe it, more importantly. So before we're going to any event, this podcast is for you. There's nothing wrong with you experiencing this part of your brain. I think it's important for us to experience it and recognize it. It is a script that society and culture has handed us for every single fucking summer, and every part of our lives, really. And summer just cranks up the volume of that script. And we're going to get into that today. So just to put this into perspective, because if the spiral convinces you that you're the only one having a hard time with wearing summer clothing, you are not. Yay. Now, this research is based on body image in general, but we'll talk about kind of how summer is unique in regards to this. So across the research, somewhere between 70 and 85% of women say that they're unhappy with their bodies and wish they were smaller. In one survey, more than half of women said they don't like how they look overall. So when you're on the closet floor and you feel like, I am so broken, what's wrong with me? You are not alone. The math says that the majority of women, and men too, this is not sexist by any means, but the majority of women struggle with this as well. Then what happens is we bring in our phone and our access to viewing other people's lives. And in 83 separate studies with more than 55,000 people, both men and women, they stated the more that you compare yourself to other bodies online, the worse you feel in your own every single time. And it's not only the loud, obvious stuff. The research show that scrolling fit, toned, athletic photos, the kind that were sold right now, left around a third of people feeling worse about themselves, with women having the heaviest hit. And I'm going to talk about the nuance of this and why summer makes these statistics louder. The statistics are still there, but it amplifies what we already feel. And let's get into why summer hits so hard. So it's really a brutal season. So it's kind of funny because, here in Phoenix, every single person, I don't care how long you lived here, you might be my husband was born here. We complain about it being hot every summer. Like we don't remember that it's hot. And I feel like it's similar to anyone anywhere else. Like you don't remember summer is going to require less clothing, right? And for a lot of you, not us Phoenicians, but a lot of you, you're still kind of cruising in like a jean and like a like thin tee. For some of my clients, it was cold last week, right? So in most places, you've been bundled up for half the year. Sweaters, denim, leggings, right? We can live in those. But then the heat comes and the layers come off, right? More skin is exposed more of the time. And all of that visibility brings your body at front and center in a way that it hasn't the other parts of the year, right? And except for us from, in AZ, we are constantly naked, but that also has its own set of issues, right? And around this time in June, we're starting to peel off the layers. And what I find interesting about the statistics is while we still don't feel good in our bodies, I feel like the winter and even like cooler spring areas gives us a way to cover ourselves up. And let's be honest, it's a sense of protection to your insecurities in your body. And again, summer is as your layers are coming off, it's exposing the emotional and mental layers of your struggles with your body. So it's figurative and it's actual. And I think that that's important to remember, especially if you live in an area where the weather is like I said, still kind of chilly some places. You're going to be going back and forth to, oh, it's a beautiful day, I want to put the shorts on. And then the next day we might be in a sweater. And just even that shift in your mind, it can be really difficult. Then the seasonal lineup drops on TV. Love Island, right? With a scantily clad cast of 20-somethings bouncing around in these teeny tiny bikinis, looking airbrushed in real life and probably a little bit airbrushed. And you're watching that and it looks so fun. And you're over here 43, like, why doesn't my ass bounce like that, right? And you then walk into the stores and all the racks are barely there, everything's you know, all of the swimsuits are up front, the shorts, the tank tops, the board shorts. And then also your feed on social media, like I said, not only turns into you seeing your friends on the lake, at the beach, at the pool party, and then also you're seeing the after pictures of the summer shreds that started a couple months ago. And you're like, oh my God, I am so far behind, right? And this is diet culture's favorite time of year. It really, really is. It gets to cash in on every single doubt and insecurity that you have. And I'll come clean. I have had, when I first started this business back in 2019, I think it was, we did a summer shred promo. Yeah, I know. So I'm not lecturing you like from some pedestal. I have done this. Okay. So we stack on the pool days, the cookouts, the water parks. Kids want to go to water parks, right? Every one of those opportunities are a chance for you to rank yourself against everybody else, every single other person. And those old beliefs, like I said, they amplify. The critic grabs a drink, pulls up a chair, and starts building a case to why you're better off hiding and living in your moo-moo. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I see it all the time. I see women covering up. I see them avoiding the pool. I see them, not being able to have these memories with their children. And it makes me sad, right? It makes me sad because life is supposed to be about living, but we've made it about how we look. And there is a way to do this and enjoy everything, no matter where your body is right now. So here's where it does turn, because most of the time how you feel in your body has less to do with how it looks and more to do with what other people don't really name out loud. As a culture, as you guys know, we've handed acceptance to smaller, fitter bodies and withheld the acceptance for bigger ones. And I think that's disgusting. I believe, and I see some women, and I'm going to call it out, my women of color tend to be able to do this a bit easier than my Caucasian women. They really embrace their bodies. They dress for their bodies, no matter the size. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. And it sucks because society really does, and in so many ways, our women and men in larger bodies don't get treated with the same respect as those smaller. And I'm saying this as someone in a smaller body, in an able body. And I understand that. And I just think it's disgusting, right? So the thought of even being in a swimsuit against this societal pulse, right, of where you should be makes your pulse go through the roof, right? Of, oh my gosh, I'm not that norm. I'm not the small body. And now I have to be out in front of other people. And the nervous system begins to sense a sense of rejection, right? It braces for rejection. And again, like I said, it's honestly believing it's protecting you. And strangely, that's the good news, because the moment that you can name what the brain is doing proactively, like in this protective job, that's when it can stop being a problem and start being kind of the beginning of, well, I don't need protection. Like I can begin to sit with who I am and accept who I am and embrace who I am and in who I am in this body. And when that nervousness or that comparison or that inner critic begins to speak really loud, it's just a sign. It's a sign that I'm worried about being rejected. And I don't need to worry about that, because if anyone rejects me because of the way I look in my swimsuit, that's probably not a person I want in my life. I know I say that all the time, but when you can begin to notice that, okay, this is a protective mechanism in my body, and while necessary, I don't have to listen to its advice. I could just recognize somewhere I'm feeling a sense of rejection or insecurity, and I can deal with that, right? So here are the tools, because always I want to give you guys something practical that you can use. And so one of the main things in regards to the summer is I want you to dress how you want to feel. Listen, I've worn some of those fucking bathing suits that I'm just constantly picking at. I don't like cheeky bathing suits. I actually have really sensitive skin, like on my thighs and like right where like my booty and like it gets really sensitive and with chlorine. I don't know why. I see a dermatologist for it. So like I'm not trying to put my ass cheeks out there because I'm worried about my skin. So but I had some swimsuits that were really cute, but I'd constantly have to like pull them to, cover up my butt. And that's not fun. I would like run from people because I didn't want them to see my cheeks. It's just not for me. It's for others. And if you have you want to get that booty out there, you do that, okay? Are you tired of wasting your money on diet and exercise program that leave you feeling pretty much the same? You're spinning your wheels, but the food noise is still there, the body dysmorphia, the overtraining and not seeing results, the emotional eating, it's all still there. But you don't think you have an option because they're pretty much all the same. What if the next program you invest in combines therapeutic practice with exercise and nutrition science and behavioral change? What if this program focuses on what you say in your mind so that you can have a better relationship on what you see in the mirror? Hi, I'm Christina Hathaway, licensed therapist with specialized training in food and body obsession, certified personal trainer and nutrition coach, and I'm the founder of the Mindset of Matter coaching program. Here, we see your mind, your body, and your identity as one integrated system and treat it as such. We focus on your self-defeating beliefs and understand how they impact your behaviors and thus the outcomes that you feel stuck in. We do this through the Mindset Method, my psychological curriculum that I've curated with over 15 years experience and adapted it to you, the average woman, and this coaching program. This is one method, one program, one coach, and let's face it, the one area you've probably never done the work on. So if you're tired of spinning your wheels and wasting your money, check out the link below for more information. But swimwear, right, coming out right now, I actually love because I feel that there are suits that fit real bodies and they could be fun and bold and maybe a little sexy, no matter who you are. We've moved away from, as I put in my Substack, which I've started, this was actually my first essay on there. So you could check that out. It's very similar to this podcast, but you remember the days where when we went in the pool with our moms and they wore those damn one pieces with a fucking skirt? We're not doing that, ladies. We are not. No more. No more of it. Okay. Like the goal is comfort, but if comfort and like confidence can be in the same bathing suit, then fucking get it and don't apologize for it. So let's talk about what that might look like. Like, what's your favorite color? Maybe just start there. Maybe find a swimsuit. It could just be a one piece with nothing on it, but your favorite color or the color that makes your eyes pop. Or like, I look really good in jeweled tones. So like these pants are blue or like a hunter green, like a ruby or garnet color. Those are colors that look good on my skin. So instantly, I've already got a sense of confidence because the color is great for me, right? So think about color. Then think about, okay, cut, right? Or do you feel comfortable in a two-piece? Is that two-piece one that's a high-waisted two-piece? Is it one with strings on the side so you can kind of, decide how tight you want it on your hips? Is it a halter top, right? Is it a bandeau top? I wish I could wear bandeaus. I think they're so cute, but I just don't have the boobs for that. What is the cut? Or is it a one piece, right? And is it a one piece, like I said, that's fully solid? Or does it have some cutouts, right? I have some cool one pieces that people love when I wear them. And they just have like a diamond here in the front cut out. And it's like it's a halter over the neck and then the back is exposed, right? So say you really like your back, like you've been doing some rows or delt raises or lat pull downs, pull ups. You're like, my back looks great. Find that part of your body that you want to accentuate, right? It might be your legs, which is great. It might be your arms. So that bandeau top is really going to expose those arms. And I'm not telling you guys you have to expose anything. I'm just trying to help you understand, like, what can I focus on when it comes to picking out a swimsuit? As I mentioned, some of the one pieces now are so adorable, and they have cutouts, they have like jewels and beautiful colors. And again, if you've got a dunk of an ass and you want to wear a G-string or at least like a Brazilian cut, more power to you. I don't. I probably do if I really tried, but I don't want to try. It's so uncomfortable for me. I don't know why. Like I wear like those like no show like thong, like chonies, or I don't realize people don't know what chonies are. They're underwear. That's what we just call them in the Hispanic culture. It's not like I wear like full butt. I just can't do it. It's like I also don't like cleavage, so I think I'm more modest than I realized. I'll show a midriff. That's probably it. Like I don't even like cleavage anyway, and it's not because I don't like it. I just don't do it. I just don't do it. So the other thing is like with shorts, right? Stop looking at the size. I always buy shorts bigger than they're supposed to be. I actually just purchased some vacation clothes for when we go to Europe, and I fit into the small waist size, but my thighs were not. And so we actually took a medium and fixed and basically made the waist the small. And when I buy jean shorts, I always buy a size bigger because I want them to be comfortable. I hate shorts that squeeze my thighs. It's just not for me. I mean, maybe when I was like a freshman in high school, I used to have these cute little shorts I would wear. They were like khaki and they were tight. But I don't do that anymore. So stop looking at the size of things. Like, how does it feel on your body, which I'm going to talk about next. Same with tank tops, right? And tank tops can be spaghetti strapped. They could be thicker, right? To cover up more, like kind of like what I have, right? So this is a crew neck. It's actually a bodysuit. I love bodysuits, by the way. I think a bodysuit on any body shows a shape, because you guys realize you still have a shape no matter what your body looks like. You just have to learn how to dress for it. And I talked about this a long time ago, so maybe we should bring that up again about like dressing for your body type. My best friend and I were out this weekend, and she wore these cute jeans and kind of like a button up, and she just tucks the shirt in the front because it gives her a waist, right? Instead of just letting it be out, which would make her look bigger, right? And not that looking bigger is bad. I know you guys know that, but like you can do things to show off your body. I don't care what size you are, show off your body. So tank tops can be, find the materials that you like. Like certain materials I don't like. That's why I like the bodysuits, because I feel like they're thicker. And I actually like that they're tight, because then you can manipulate your pants, right? You can bring your pants up a little higher and whatever. But again, step away from the size and look more at the clothing quality, how it fits, the textures, and then get fun with it. Have fun with it. The clothes that I bought for my Europe trip are bright. They're literally, the pants are lime, like neon green and like teal, and they're so beautiful. And the top is this like, it is a midriff top, but it ties in front and it looks like this Versace top. It's so awesome. Have fun with it. All right. Number 2, try things on backwards. And I talked about this before, but I'm serious. Face the wall or face away from your mirror. And we're not asking about the size or this. I want you to kind of say, can I move, shake, and drop in this, right? Can I sit down, bend down, chase the kids, reach for the drink in this wardrobe without a malfunction, right? We don't want a Janet Jackson situation. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how often would you be kind of yanking and fixing, like I was with the booty, this outfit, this swimsuit, these shorts, right? Even the like shorts where you have to pull them down from the middle all the time, hate it. Hate that. So if the number is, let's say, past of 6, cut it, right? It's just not for you. So what we do is we face away from the mirror, we try it on, we bend, we move, we see how it feels. Is it giving you a camel toe? Probably a no, right? I say that because I have a long torso. For you long torso people out there, you know what I'm talking about. Is it comfortable, right? Then if those, if it's under that 6 and you're like, no, this is comfortable, then turn around. Do I like what it looks like on me? Is it flattering? Is it colors that I wear? Is it my style? And we don't care about the size. No one cares about the size. Nobody knows what size you're wearing. And let's be honest, when I buy Express, I could buy like a size 2, but then I go to, where did I go to recently? I don't remember, but it was a size 6, right? So, and again, I realize those are smaller sizes. I'm not trying to say, oh my God. I'm just trying to make the claim that you could be any size on any given clothing company. Number 3, we're taking a weed whacker to that feed. I say this all the time: mute, follow, block, disengage, and do it with 0 guilt. Swap the endless toned 20-something fitness influencer. If you got to mute your friend who is doing all the face tuning or just makes you feel like shit when you see her in the bathing suit, just got it. Just got it, right? Then think about, what do I want to see? What's going to make me happy, right? Maybe you do follow tropical areas. Maybe you follow tropical hotels or experiences. Maybe you just follow my dog, Liberty. Always a great follow. Recipes, people filming kitchen renovations. I don't care what it is. Whatever it does, if the post makes you feel your stomach drop or the anxiety in your chest, the actual drop is what you should be doing. Drop it, make it gone. And remember, just because people are in these summer shreds and they're getting out of them, that doesn't mean shit, because half of these summer shreds, as I know, are like 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. There is not a lot of change you can make in 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, their bodies can change, but if your body is changing that significantly in 6 to 8 weeks, it's going to bounce back just as quick. Okay. So maybe also don't follow those. Number 4, we're going to catch that critic mid-sentence. So remember, when that critic is loud, it is keeping you from getting hurt. And I think that's so, so important. But if, as I mentioned, that critic is trying to think of what other people are thinking about you in your body. Now, again, I just love confidence. I will be the first, like, queen. Yes, that is beautiful on you. I freaking love it. Like, that is who I am. And I feel like I'm a good person and a good friend and a good human. And that's how I'm thinking. And then I'm thinking maybe a couple times, if I'm not wearing the right outfit, like, ugh, I'm thinking about myself. What I'm not doing is sitting there and criticizing people in my head, right? I'm going to notice you if you're exuding confidence before anything else. And I just wanted to say that. But also remember, if anyone's writing you off because the way that your body looks or whatever that is, they don't belong in your life. If you're surrounded by people who are judging you, that is a problem. I think about some of my friends who live in these like country club areas, and some of the shit they tell me, I'm like, why are you friends with them? Like, these women don't care about your well-being. They care about this aesthetics and vanity and just this really gross environment. And I'm like, why are we doing that? So when that voice starts up, we're going to spot it without piling it on, or spot it without believing it, right? Give it a little nod, be like, yo, what's up? There it is. There's the critic, right? Then come back to the reality. Come back to my body, and how I present this summer has nothing to do with my worth. Your worth is in your existence. Nobody's going to say, wow, remember that one summer when Shelly had a 6-pack? Nope. I've had 6-packs multiple times. And honestly, I feel like my friends treated me, well, I shouldn't say my friend, this is going to sound bad. I feel like it was more of an issue than when I have like my sustainable body, as I call it. People would make comments, mainly the guys, and not in a good way. And so nobody cares is what I'm saying. I have been ripped as fuck and I've had sustainable body and nobody gives a shit. Literally no one cares, right? But coming back, right, that the inner critic is here just to protect me. I refuse rejection because, again, if you are going to reject me from the way I look, I don't want you in my life. I'm going to focus on the people who love me for who I am and pair that with some breath work to like bring that body down or tip that face up into the sunshine, listen to the birds, listen to the ocean, walk on this, like just bring it into the summer, make parts of the summer help you with regulating that inner critic. Then choose what you want to give your attention to, right? Choose what you want to give your attention to. Number 5 is trade affirmations for respect. Again, this is usually the part where someone tells you to like stare yourself down on the mirror and be like, I am beautiful enough. I'm good enough. I am smart enough. And God darn it, people like me, right? That is not my style. It has never been my style. I am a realist when it comes to how I speak to myself. And I won't ask you to perform a feeling that you don't have about yourself. But what I'd like you to do is focus on something that is fact. I always say focus on the facts, not the fantasy or the fears. And this isn't because when we focus on the fantasy, it's like a wish, right? We focus on the fears as something, it's that inner critic. I want you to focus on the fact that you could do something, right? So things like, my body knows how to float and cool off and feel great or feel the water. My body has earned this day in the sun because it exists, right? The discomfort I feel in a swimsuit is something I picked up somewhere along the way, right? Which means I can set it back down. These stay true to you, right? And I want you to stay true to yourself on your worst body days, but you still don't, even on your worst body days, you still get to respect yourself. And focusing on the facts instead of the fantasy, which is the affirmation world, or the fears, which is the inner critic world, are going to be super duper helpful because you don't realize, like, and I'm going to talk about this next, but how capable your body is, right? How capable your body is. And for a lot of you listening, you're doing really good for yourself because I know a lot of you are strength training. You're really focusing on your nutrition. You're focusing on your mindset and the reality of a relationship with your body and food. And just because you don't look like maybe you even compare to your old self. That's another thing. Like I just talked about me. You compare to your old self and just realizing like there's so much you can do. That is fact. That has nothing to do with the way that you look. It's your capability, right? Or even just, you're funny and you and your girlfriends get to kiki by the pool and like laugh and joke and do all those things and have drinks and make memories, which goes on to number 6, which is focus on the present. Summer is a fun time. It's a time where you get together with your friends, with your family. I'm hosting a girls' weekend. We got an Airbnb. It's got a pool. I've got friends flying in, and we're doing a morning yoga session with a sound bath, and then we're going to be by the pool. We're going to have drinks. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. It's going to be so many great things. I'm so excited. Right? I want everyone there to feel comfortable being there because I love them. And for you, you have kiddos and I just remember, where were we? Oh, my best friend has a pool at her community. Like she lives in a townhome. And I was just watching these kids' dad throw them in the pool. And they're just like, Dad, again. And like, oh, I just got emotional. Like I think of my dad, and, him playing with me in the pool. And for those of you who are wondering why I'm crying, I lost my dad in August. So this is actually my first summer without him. Your kids are growing up. And I want your kids to have tears in their eyes because of the memories you create for them. Because
That's what it's about. And the memories you create with your partner and your friends and your family. That's what this life is about. And when you have to hide because you don't like the way that you feel about yourself, you're missing out on that opportunity. And it's so important because, again, I've given you practical skills of like find what makes you feel good, your favorite colors, the cuts, the shorts that we don't care about the size. We care about how they feel on our body. And then show the fuck up because you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. Your family deserves it. Nowhere along the way, society needs to feel bad about itself for making you think that you should feel bad about yourself. There we go. Damn it. We were going on a streak there where I wasn't crying. So anyways, the point of being alive is to be in it. And the laughing, the splashing, the random Tuesday night that turns into a memory, not parked on the sidelines, right? Doing, arithmetic with your own thighs. I don't know why I wrote that down, but I love it. Don't trade the whole summer for a season spent in your head, right? Because of how your stomach looked in one photo. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Catch the thought when it shows up, then walk yourself back to the actual moment you're standing in. And if you want a bonus move right there in the moment, name 3 things that you are happy or you have gratitude for, right? So about the day where your feet's planted, right? I mean, again, if you have a life where you and your family can get your asses to go to Mexico for 5 days, that's a pretty good life. That's a pretty good life. Or if you have friends that are like, hey, I thought of you to come over to this barbecue. I want to feed you. I want to be around your presence. I want to swim with you. I want to share my oxygen with you. That's a pretty good life, right? And if you have the ability to go to Target and under those shitty fluorescent lights, buy a new bathing suit, it's a pretty good life, right? It's a pretty good fucking life. So use that gratitude. If any of this hit home for you, or if you have some girlfriends that you just had the conversation about, oh my God, summer, send this to them. Please send this to them. I hope you took away the practical. I want you to feel so good in whatever it is you choose to wear and do it. And send me photos. If you, that sounds weird, clothes photos. But if you're like, Christina, I listened to you and I went and I bought this, beautiful, emerald green swimsuit with embellishment. And I fucking wore that. And I felt so good about it because that emerald green looked so good on my body. And that's all I paid attention to. And then I had gratitude for the fact that I was at that pool hanging with my girlfriends at a staycation. I want to see it. I want to see it. So if this hit home, again, send it over to someone. I just opened the Substack where you get kind of my random thoughts. So how I think I'm going to play this, and you guys let me know if this is kind of an issue, but what I like, because I write my notes, is I write the article on Substack and put it there for maybe people who are not podcast people. Obviously, I'd love for you to be in both, but it is going to be very similar because I'm going to write the Substack and then I take that and I create my podcast episode. It's not going to be every time because I'm just going to itch up my ass and want to write. I want to write. I love writing. I used to get awards for writing in high school, which is crazy because I have terrible spelling and grammar, but my creativity was great. But now I use ChatGPT and it fixes my spelling and grammar. So I don't need to learn it anymore. Probably going to be something wrong with my brain later down the line. But the Substack is there. I'll put it in the show notes. And don't forget, guys, in August, we're launching our next collective, which is our quarterly cohort. That is an opportunity to learn how to adapt and be flexible with your nutrition and your exercise based on your schedules. So that'll be coming your way in August. I know it's a little bit far out. And if you are looking for very high level health and wellness coaching, I have openings for the concierge coaching program, which is a year-long commitment. It is an investment. I am not going to lie to you, but it is so hands-on with you and your team and your travel schedule, whatever it is that is keeping you from finding or creating a good foundation around health and wellness. This program is for you. So you can also set up a clarity call with me to discuss that. Other than that, I'm going to leave you the same way I always do. And I'm going to remind you that what you say in your mind, you see in the mirror. Bye-bye.